So today's job, I'm going to try and fix the rear springs on this, because I've nearly wore through my wheel arches. There's no other videos on YouTube, so I'm going to try it, make one. There's the payment for the use of the garage. Yeah, if you need these springs, go on Copart, because, not Copart, what are these guys called now? Auto Dock. Honestly, the price is just unbeatable. This thing's so long. It hasn't gone off the ground yet. I'll just send it up, send it. Oh, I should have loosened the wheels off. Oh, you've got an impact wheel? I think, well, I'm going to, because I need to get in there, because I've got to take the shocks and that, and all this wheel arch liner's got to go as well. Yeah, I'll do that next. So to take the shock off, you need to take the wheel arch liner off. There's a couple of screws all the way around here. I had two weird screws here that I have no idea how I was supposed to take them off, so I've just pulled them off. You've got to get them two bolts there. Where's this one now? This one here. And I think it's there, you can't really see it, but I'll get it off and I'll show it again. So I've just squashed that down, it's not coming back up. Oh, it is.
Barely.
Barely. Yeah, that's definitely knackered. Annoyingly, I should have bought a new one of them, because that looks like it's a part of that. Right, so they're both off, the both shocks are off. It's them two screws and that, which is this one. Got to take the springs off next, which I think are going to be an absolute pig. But I'm going to get that side off first. This side off first, see if this works with these spring compressors. If not, I think I'm going to have to undo this bolt here to drop that down a little bit to get that off. But we'll see. I'll explain how I've done it once I've done it.
He thought that you need to change the springs.
Fucking then come round and say hello.
Oh, we're fucking busy here.
Yeah, busy making miracles happen. It's my new motor.
Oh, sorry.
That looks like it worked then, didn't it? I can't believe that.
This is his theory, yeah? He was sitting on its arse, yeah? Then with the shock absorbers,
No, it's fucked.
yeah? And he wanted to change the springs as well. But the springs are fine.
Right. So that's fixed it. I can't believe it. I've spent money on springs that I didn't need. I was kind of arguing with my mates saying that there's no way it could just be the shocks, but obviously I was completely wrong. So look at the height of that now. All I've done is change the two shocks, and I can fit my hand under there now, and before I couldn't. It is still a little bit higher on the front, but every single Audi that I've seen, it's about the exact same. So I'm quite happy with that. So, what I'm saying is, if you've got an Audi and the back's sagging and the springs aren't snapped, listen to your friend. It's just change the shocks first, because that was quite easy. The wheel arch liner, two screws at the top, one bolt here, and that came out. And if you're looking for somewhere cheap, go on Auto Dock, because I couldn't believe the price of them. I'm from Auto Dock.
Damper not working.
Yes, the damper was not working. So we've pulled it outside and it's dropped to the exact, well, near enough to the same height it was before. So I'm convinced it does need the springs, but Tom's convinced otherwise. I'm going to come back at some point and change the springs and see if it makes any difference, because that, I'm still not happy with it, because it's still bottoming out when I've gone over that speed bump there. So the next part of this video will be I'm putting springs on this. Yeah, I'll put springs on it, change springs, buy some bump stops, put the bump stops on, put them springs on, and we'll see if it rises up, because this is 20-inch alloys on an SE model with standard suspension. So this video kind of got forgotten about. It's been literally probably 9 months, and the springs have actually completely snapped now. So it's got no MOT on it. I need to basically fix that before I can get it MOT'd, so we're going to see so many months later whether it will work. I don't think this side is actually broken, but the other side is definitely broken. But I mean, you can see the difference in the ride height from the front and the back. So I'm hoping it will be a lot better ride, because when it's fully loaded, I have heard the back of it hit off stuff. So that's not good. So we're going to do the rear springs now after being told it was the shocks. Totally disagree with that now. I think it's the springs. So I'm going to work out how on earth to take them off. I think the subframe's got to be dropped down or something. The left side's going to be very easy to take off because the spring's actually snapped. But this side probably won't be that easy. But then I've got to get the springs back in, and I hope I've got the right springs because I've had them for about 6 months, so I ain't going to be able to return them. So we'll get cracking on this now. Okay, so this is the passenger side, and you can see why that's so low. That's absolutely knackered. But the thing that I still can't get my head around is how low it was before they snapped. But someone told me that, I mean, you can probably see it right there, the coil at the bottom, it's sat perfectly in where it's meant to be sat. And someone told me it looks like it won't look like it's broken, but that is actually broken off, like an inch is missing off that. Well, I don't know. But all I do know is that the ride height ain't how it came out of the factory, because it's really low on the back, in my opinion. So I think I need to take these shocks off. I'm going to try and do a bit of research. By research, I mean look on YouTube and see if I can find out how to get these off. Also, I'm going to replace these. What I was meant to replace at the start of the video, but I didn't. There's the part number if it's on there. These go in up there somewhere, so I'm going to get them in while I'm doing all this, because I never want to take this apart again. Okay, so that's taken quite a while. Please forgive me how janky this looks. That wasn't done by me, that was how I bought it. Yeah, I've managed to get these off. So you've got to get these 2 bolts off here, which are these M10 multi-spline things. They were quite easy to get off. That, I think it's a 17mm or 18mm, I can't remember. That's undone. This has now come off. This, I think I've just read, it was 700 Newton meters of torque on that. It was unbelievably tight. That's come undone now. I think I've got to undo these off the brake caliper, but if I can avoid it, I will. But what I did just notice is this has fell. So that's actually come out. So that's, we're getting there. I need to remember that that's the top, because I noticed the springs have got slightly different top and bottom. So I wonder if I can get the springs straight back in. They'll be amazed. Now this is quite interesting. I've got them near enough at the same height. You can see how this one has compressed almost an inch over that one, and that would maybe explain why the ride height was so low. So I'm really hoping this brings it up to the correct ride height. Let's see if I can get that in there. I think I've got to compress them. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. Right, so now we've undone all the subframe bolts there and there and there. Those 2 M10 multi-spline bolts. I've put a jack under this just so I can jack it back up to get those bolts back in for the subframe. I've literally just put that in with my hands. I've used no prying bars, no nothing, but I think that's the way to do it. There we go, one side all done. I've put some old paint that I had over those patches of rust in the hopes that it would deter the rust a little bit, but it's not really that bad. I've just got the other side off, and it is a lot worse rust-wise than this is. But that wasn't actually that bad. If I had a garage, that would have taken me probably an hour tops. But having to jack it up on these Halfords jacks and then using that other jack, it just gets it does get a bit sketchy. But gotta get the other side done now. The main goal of this video was to try and show the difference in the ride height and how to do that. So at the end of the video, I'm going to show you the ride height and compare it to the start of the video. Annoyingly, at the start of the video, I'm pretty certain I had 20-inch wheels on this, but still, you might be able to get a feel for it. So I've literally oh, that's pretty tight. That's not that tight, actually. Look, the whole thing's moving when I move it. I've been told you're supposed to take that off, but there's not actually that much tension on that whatsoever. And look, the spring's basically loose, so all I've got to do is pull that out now. And it's done. It might be different on other models, so yeah, maybe it is a good idea to disconnect that. It's only 2 bolts, but I think I can get it out without doing it on this side. Well, that has risen up absolutely tons, but it does look fairly normal now. I don't really like how high it is, but I mean, it's got springs at work now and the shocks aren't completely on the bottom. That side looks a little bit lower, but I mean, I think I'll get used to it after a while. So yeah, I've got to fix that and that soon. So that's how you make it look normal, I suppose. Annoyingly, because it's been parked up for so long, the DPF has now got blocked, so I've got to fix that at some point. There you go. I guess it does look a lot better than it looked like it was dragging its bum across the floor. I've literally just driven it around the corner and it feels like the back's jacked up, but it just looks normal, doesn't it? So there you go.
Come on, man!
Go on, go
Defo
on.
faster, defo faster.
Yes.
It's gone, it's gone. Easy, easy. Easy money.
No way. I weren't expecting that, you know.
Slow, bro.